What is going on, folks? Ncaa 31 here. I thought I would do something a little different in this video, and that is preview the college football season. We're one night away. We're on the eve of the college football season opener. So why not talk some college football? And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll do this for the NFL too, or maybe I'll do this once a week. You know, dedicate a video towards just talking about what's going on in the NFL and what's going on in college football, just to kind of change things up a little bit in old video land. So, what do I think is going to happen in college football this year? How do I think college football is going to play out? I really wanted this to be, or I really want this to be the year of Boise State. I want to pick Boise State to play for the BCS National Championship, and I think their schedule sets up for it. I think their roster sets up for it. You know, Boise State opens up against Georgia, who I think they'll get by. Georgia is one of those teams that I never have any confidence in. You know those teams, there's a handful of teams that every year just do not play up to their talent.
It's second down.
Teams like Pittsburgh, Clemson, North Carolina, Cal, Oklahoma State.
They work the right side.
Teams like that. Teams that always find a way to lose two, maybe three games that they shouldn't, finish 9-3 and finish short of where you would have thought they would, you know, be given their talent level. Georgia's kind of like that. So I think Boise is going to pick them off, but I just don't see Oregon losing a game. On paper, I just don't see it happening. And so that leaves me to decide, okay, who's going to run the table between the Big 12 and the SEC. I think the Big 10 is going to be down, and Nebraska is going to sleepwalk through that conference. So I'm not going to, include the Big 10. You know, the Big East, who cares? The ACC, is Florida State back, ranked preseason number 6. Are they back to, make a run at it and be the Florida State we used to know, who used to, contend and be in the top 5 every single season? I haven't seen, enough of them to decide yay or nay. But I think they'll miss Christian Ponder more than people think. It's never easy to replace, those multi-year, starting quarterbacks, especially when they're productive. And Christian Ponder, even though he was injury prone, he was a very good, talented player. So I think Florida State's the best team in the ACC. Whether they're ready to, make that jump into the top 5 or be on the fringe of the top 5 remains to be seen. So we'll find out about them soon enough, because they play Oklahoma in a couple of weeks, in about 3 weeks. So we'll find out about them really fast, or really soon. But I am going to go with Oregon
second down,
playing Alabama for the national championship. Why not Oklahoma? I can see Oklahoma getting picked off along the way. I think Texas will have a bounce back year.
He's looking to pass.
I don't think they were as bad as they showed, or as the record indicated last year. And there's a lot of talented offensive teams in the Big 12, and all it takes is for you to run into one of them on a day that they're clicking, and you're looking at a dogfight. So I can see Oklahoma having that kind of day and getting picked off. Alabama, even before LSU's mess, I couldn't pick LSU over Alabama because of Mr. Miles. Les Miles. We all know that Les Miles, somewhere along the way, is going to screw up a game. It's going to happen. Just a matter of when. And if, luck helps them to survive it. And the thing with, Les Miles and versus Nick Saban, if Les Miles coached Alabama and Nick Saban coached LSU, I'd pick LSU. That's how vast I think the difference is between how well those two teams are coached, because they're both very talented. I think Jordan Jefferson getting the boot is actually a good thing. I think Jefferson is hot garbage. Did you know LSU passed for only 10 touchdowns last year? 10! And this is a team that produces receivers that play in the NFL. How is that even remotely possible? I mean, Oregon was arguably, stat-wise, the best rushing team, or one of the best rushing teams in the country, and Duron Thomas, he threw for 30 touchdowns. How does a team as talented as LSU throw for only 10 touchdowns and 11 interceptions? It just doesn't make any sense. LSU makes no sense. As far as some dark horses, I can see TCU making another run. I think Nebraska will do well, but I just think the Big Ten is just not going to get a lot of respect this year. I mean, Ohio State's a mess. Michigan, can they finally play at least average defense? Because that's really all they will need, because they can score some points. Oklahoma State is also one of those teams that you just can't really trust. They find a way to lose a couple of games every year that they shouldn't, and they end up being 10-2, 9-3, 8-4. I can see Stanford, if Oregon does lose, Stanford's the only team that I can see being able to seize upon the opportunity. So, while I want that feel-good story of Boise State breaking through and playing for the national championship, I just don't see how
He may have changed things up here.
enough pieces are going to fall into place for that to happen. It's possible, of course, but I just don't see it happening. Looking at the rest of the top 25, I got to talk about Notre Dame. Notre Dame at number 16. Is Notre Dame back? And when I say back, is Notre Dame a team that's going to be nationally relevant on a consistent basis again? Are they ready to make a push towards getting into a BCS bowl game this year? I don't think they're quite there yet. I think they're getting there. I think Notre Dame has finally figured out a couple of things. One, they figured out it's not 1980 anymore. And two, they finally have the right kind of coach. And the Florida Gators are going to find out what having the wrong kind of coach on your staff will do to you. Have fun with Charlie Weiss calling your plays and doing your game plans, Gator fan, because you're not going to know what type of team you're going to be from week to week. Because Charlie is just infatuated with proving to everybody just how big of an offensive genius he is, that he can't, focus on direction. The kind of college coach you need is a guy like Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is not a tactical genius. We saw what happened to Urban Meyer's great spread offense when he ran out of Tim Tebow's and ran out of Percy Harvin's. But what a coach like Urban Meyer does, and Nick Saban is like this also, he's able to teach and develop young people to play in a particular system the way he wants them to play. And the reason why I think Brian Kelly is going to succeed is because I noticed Notre Dame consistently show signs of getting better every week. Tommy Rees got better every week. Manti Te'o and Michael Floyd improved significantly from their time with Charlie Weiss. And that tells me that Brian Kelly knows how to teach, and he's instilling the way he wants to play into these players' brains. And once he gets the pieces he needs, combined with that kind of discipline, that's when you have your very good and elite level teams. So I don't think they're quite there yet, but I think They're getting there. They're starting to recruit athletes again. You know, you're starting to see people play for Notre Dame that you could say, huh, I can see him playing in the I can see that guy possibly playing in the NFL. You're starting to see, you know, little drips and drabs of speed again on the field for Notre Dame. But I don't think they have the right kind of quarterback yet. You know, the spread is always, the spread is, to me, is all about that quarterback. You have to have that quarterback who can either wing it really well, run it really well, or preferably be that nightmare who can do both. And I think they're lacking that stud at quarterback. But they're getting there. My Irish are getting there. Ohio State. How in the world are they even ranked? How can a team like Ohio State be ranked? They have, for all practical purposes, no coach.
It's 4th down, and they're going to try to go for it.
They have no quarterback. The NCAA is going to drop the hammer on them any month now. You know, that's one of the silly things about these preseason polls. Teams like Ohio State shouldn't be ranked. USC. You know, USC is ranked because of their name. You know, USC doesn't really have anything to play for, but, you know, they're still USC, and they still have, you know, NFL caliber talent, guys who can play on the NFL on that team. So you have to at least throw them a bone. And then you have teams like Arkansas. I can see Michigan State, you know, making a run in the Big Ten. Missouri, who knows? Mississippi State, I can see them being a dark horse in the SEC. Michigan.
Handoff up the middle. And they get nice yards.
Do they have a defense? Do they have any defense? Who knows about them? Texas A&M. What's going on with Texas A&M? What's gotten into them lately? I think, yeah, just stay where you are, Texas A&M. Texas A&M
47-yard line.
trying to join the SEC just doesn't, you know, feel right to me. You know, they belong playing with Texas every year. That's just the way it should be. Texas A&M, playing in the same league, playing each other every single season. So, anyway, that's pretty much my take on the upcoming college season. My season preview, Ncaa 31's college football season preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love to hear your thoughts. Hope you enjoy the video, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.